And lastly, everybody to the classroom. This is probably equally as important of a quadrant, but it's probably the most overlooked quadrant because how do we treat the physical state of the classroom? Let's do this. How many people in here live in the attendance zone of this particular school? 2, 3 people? So this is their school. Technically, you're just leasing, right? Because you're on a probably one year contract, and you can get up and leave next year, but they're kind of stuck here until their parents decide to move or something else, like somebody else outside of their control gets them, makes the decision for them no longer to be in this school. We can get up and go from school to school anytime we feel like it, but they can't. And so they need to take ownership of this school as if it's theirs. Right now, they treat this school, or they treat our schools like shell bathrooms. Like, you know how people treat you ever go and use the bathroom at like a Shell gas station? And not even like the newer Shell gas stations, like when you go, you got to get the key and you got to go outside, and then you ever open up the door, like when you open up the door, it looks like everybody just used the bathroom from the door, so you use the bathroom from the door. Our kids need to start treating our schools with that sense of pride, and really that sense of pride of, this is yours. So when we look at how everybody treats the physical state of the classroom, the question that you want to pose in the circle at this point is, how do you treat your home and why? How do you treat your home and why? You want to get their responses. Maybe they don't treat their home that well. Because if you think about it, think about home buyers and renters in some cases. Now, not all renters and not all homeowners, but if you think about it, you can kind of go into certain neighborhoods and tell that, you can go into a neighborhood and tell that there's a lot of renters in a neighborhood, and you can go into a neighborhood and see there's a lot of homeowners. Like renters don't necessarily take care of the landscaping as much, and they don't necessarily take as much pride in the small things, because they're only going to be there for a certain amount of time. Where a homeowner, you're making a 20, 30-year commitment. A 20, 30-year commitment, you're going to take more pride in something. And so you want to get an understanding of why your students and how they feel they should treat a home. Because the way you treat a home is really a reflection of, let's be honest, if you're a child, your parents. If your parents treat the home and have certain expectation of the home, then that's how you're going to treat it. And they're going to hold you to that expectation. But if they are kind of throwing stuff over and not really taking pride in it, then as a child, you're probably going to just follow suit. From there, you pose the question, if the classroom is your home, then how should we treat it? And why? Now, even those students that don't necessarily take pride in their home, they've had the opportunity to hear responses from other people about how you actually should treat a home. And so now they've developed an understanding of how you should treat a home, even if they didn't see it from that perspective at first. And so they're prepared to answer this question because now they probably have a better understanding of how you treat something that you consider to be your home. Even if you were to put on the respect agreement that, don't break the iPads, well, break down for them again the why. Why don't you want them to break the iPads? Schools do not have an infinite amount of money that is allocated to them that they can just break something and then it gets replaced. What we have is a finite amount of money that if you break this, then that money comes from something else that would have been going to you to replace that iPad. So this is your money. The budget for this school is your money because this money is here for you. We need to communicate that to them so they can start taking pride in the school the way that we want them to.